You cannot allow yourself to underperform because you have the fear of what the collective of women will do to you if you show up as your best self. I had a mentee interview a couple of weeks ago with a young woman, a young lady, 19 years old. And I actually get pretty excited with the, 17, 18, 19-year-old girls, because I'm like, wow, you're just getting started in the world. You're all starry-eyed. You're all starry-eyed and you're just so excited. And I love the excitement. When you're in college as a woman, like, you're so excited. You're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do, like, I love it. But I also love it because I get the opportunity to pour into that woman at her starting point in life. I think a lot of us, including myself, we didn't have that woman to pour into us when we were 17, 18, 19, just getting into the world. We didn't have that. So we kind of had to figure it out later on. But I feel so, I get so excited when they come on and they're like young like that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, a couple of months with me, you are going to be like the prototype, because I'm going to give you the ropes. And one of the major ropes that women need to grab a hold on to is decentering women. Yes, you do. We already know the decentering men conversation. I think all women at some point should be decentering men. Decentering men does not mean hating men. It just means that they're not at the center of your universe. And the same thing applies with decentering women. I think that a lot of women are underperforming in life because other women are holding them back. Yeah. Your girlfriends hold you back, your mom, the women at your job. Because the thing is, when you're around a collective of women, you always have to limit yourself. You will have to limit yourself. You will never be able to really be the maximum version of yourself. People will lie and tell you that you can. But a woman has to be very confident in herself to allow another woman to be the maximum version of herself. And not only that, a woman has to also have the mentality of, it's okay for us to be different. Many women want us all to be the same. That's where their problem lies, is their desire for, oh, you don't like wearing makeup, so you're going to bully her because she wears makeup. You don't care about your body, so you're going to bully her because she lost weight or she got her body done. You don't like, you're with your guy, he's a dusty. You're mad at her because she wants to date a guy who's accomplished. It's like women will always pick you apart if you're not like them. That's why I said the girls rule, I don't believe in it. Because if it was real, it would apply to all women. You wouldn't be shaming ex-workers. You wouldn't be shaming women who are strippers. You wouldn't be shaming women who are sugar babies. You wouldn't be shaming women who are more intelligent than you. You wouldn't be shaming women who are more beautiful than you. You wouldn't be shaming women who are more accomplished than you. Because it's subjective, it's obsolete in my life. If something has to be subjective, meaning it doesn't apply to everyone, then it's not a rule anymore. That's why I don't believe in girls, because women have to be very emotionally mature to treat all women with kindness and respect. You have to be very mature in order to do that. Most women will start letting their insecurities get in the way, and that's when they start acting very hostile. Depending on how you trigger their insecurity, now the girl doesn't apply to you. That's why women have to decenter women. You have to decenter women so that you are not essentially underperforming in order to be accepted by them, or following them in order to be accepted by them. And how if a woman wants to get ahead in life, she will have to decenter both genders evenly. Mel, what do you mean by decentering women? I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Many women are going through a lot of hardships, emotional turmoil, internal dysfunction, and overall confidence dismantling because they allowed the tactics, antics, and the overall culture, the girl culture, they allowed that to stop them from being their best. That's why I tell women, if you want to be your best, you have to decenter men, and you must decenter women as well, because they both will get in the way of your ascension, and they both will get in the way of your progress. So you have to decenter both men and women evenly if your goal is to be at the top of the mountain. And the reason why I tell women that you also have to decenter other women is because women have a habit. A lot of women have a habit of holding another woman responsible for the insecurity and inferiority that they have going on internally. So they want you to be responsible for the way they feel. They want you to be responsible for what they went through. They want you to be responsible for the fact that they don't feel like they look good. They want you to be responsible for their lack of showing up in the world. They want other women to be responsible for that. That's why even in the past, when I would explore friendships, the minute I noticed that another woman is trying to place her limitations, insecurities, misfortunes, negative experiences, the minute you're trying to place it on me as a means of bonding, I'm going to separate myself from the friendship. Because now what that energy does is it's going to start stagnating me. I think that a lot of women are not showing up and they're not showing out in life because they have fear of being pursued by other women. A lot of women are not showing up and showing out because they're scared of essentially the bullying that goes on in the community of women. There's a lot of bullying in the community of women. Women just lie about it. That's all. That's why there were many women that were upset about the "why you have to protect yourself from women" video. They were upset about that because that video there was so much truth in that video that they couldn't take it. So they started commenting, here comes the hostile comment saying, I need to heal. I need to go to therapy. I need to go. No, you need to heal and go to therapy because, you're a grown woman and you still can't hear the reality of what happens in your community. So when men hear about what happens amongst men, they sit there and they take it. But when women hear about what women do to each other, they can't take it. So that says more about you than it does about me, because you have a hard time hearing the reality. So that means you're the type of woman that there's no change in your life. Because in order to have change in life, we have to look at the problem and fix it. But you don't even want to hear the problem. You don't even believe that the problem is real. You hear a woman that is telling you the truth about what happens in the community of women and you're labeling her as crazy? You're labeling me as crazy for telling the truth? So I know your life is in shambles. I know your life is in shambles. Because if you can't accept the truth, you're going to stay in the same place, right? I'm really not going to be, I'm not holding back anymore, okay? I'm not going to filter out my messages anymore. I'm just, I'm really getting tired of me thinking, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't post that or say that. I'm not doing that anymore. Take this as your warning. I will come on here. I will speak the truth. If it doesn't sit well with you, then that's your problem, right? There's a lot of talk about decentering men. And I understand that. I get it. I know why it's important for women to decenter men. And I think all women should decenter men. I don't think decentering men means hating men. You can be married and you're still decentering men while you're married. It just means that you're not allowing that gender to dictate your reality and to dictate your gifts, goals, dreams, passions, and what God is doing for your life, right? That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I want to talk about how women need to also decenter women. Yes, it's not just men that you have to decenter. You have to decenter women too. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of women are going through a bunch of turmoil and all these negative things in life, essentially, I think, because they center women. I do. I think a lot of women are going through things because they center women. You center the way women feel about you. You center if women validate you. You center if women like you. You don't perform because you're afraid of intimidating another woman. You don't show up as your best because you're afraid of how that's going to affect the women around you. You don't put out what you want to put out, and you don't put out your gifts and talents and your next project because you're afraid of how that's going to affect other women. You don't look your best when you go out. You don't put on your best wardrobe because you don't want your friends at the dinner table to, start throwing shade at you. Essentially, you center women. And because you center women, you are not as accomplished in life as you should be because you restrict yourself to appease the collective of women. I don't believe in that. I've always said that I don't believe in that. And I've always said I'm not a girl's girl. I don't believe in the girl's girl narrative, that wave. Any woman that has invested in my work and we've worked together knows that I am here to help the divine collective of the feminine as well as the masculine. Like, I really put my all into helping women see themselves in a more powerful light. So, if you know, right? I want women to see themselves differently. And I want women to step into their individual power. I feel like a lot of women are just, you want the power, but you're afraid of what you have to do in order to get it. You're afraid of other women, essentially. You're scared of other women. You're scared of what happens when you're the threat or when you are a threat. You're afraid of being on the receiving end of their attacks. And this goes back to why I say in the community of women lie to each other a lot. And the women who are honest are the ones that the women put a scarlet letter on her chest because she's telling the truth. And one of those truths is you will be attacked if you are a woman that is seen as confident, structured, orderly. You like yourself. Yes, you like yourself. You feel good. You're in tune with your sensuality, sexuality. You like yourself, essentially, and you know how women will gather to attack you if you have. But, in the community of women, they're going to lie about it. They're going to say, oh, we don't do that. We don't. What? No, we support. No, what? They're going to lie. But it's not until you step into your power that you see the true nature of how hard other women can come at you when you're simply being your best. And because you've had small experiences of that, maybe when you were a child, maybe when you were a teen, maybe when you were in your 20s, you've experienced the hostility from you just being your best. So you said, you know what? I'm going to just go through life being mediocre. I'm going to be mediocre. I'm going to just not be my best. I'm not going to feel my best. I'm not going to do my best because at least if I'm just in this corner hiding out and hiding myself, women aren't going to attack me. So I'd rather just do that. So essentially, you center women so much to the point where you're not even living your best life. You're not putting your best foot forward because that's how much you center women. So what's the difference between that and centering men? Meaning, you're stopping your life or you're basing all of your decisions around a man. So what's the difference between that and you not being your best self because you center women? Decenter men and decenter women. You need to decenter both genders if you want to be at the top. I already spoke about how a lot of women have a habit of getting in the way when a woman is trying to be her best self. And they get in the way by their jealousy, discouraging you from making better decisions because they want you to be in the same position they're in. So they're going to discourage you from making decisions that's best for you. They're going to stop being your friend when you lose weight. We already know how when you start to progress, things start to get shaky. Many women are afraid of progressing. That's what I'm going to teach my mentees, women who are my mentees. Do you have a fear of the collective of women, ma'am? Do you have a fear of the women in your family? Is that why you decided to not go to law school or nursing school? Because you feel like your mom is going to feel slighted by that? So you decide to not go? Do you purposefully not wear makeup to work because you're going to get bullied for it? Do you purposefully not wear heels, or what's going on? Or do you not? Listen, there is not a woman on this planet that is going to keep me from being my best. It's not happening. I don't care if you're a first lady at a church. I've had first ladies at churches try to attack me. I don't care. I have one life to live, and I'm not going to limit myself to make you feel comfortable. And when you adopt that mentality as a woman, a lot of women are going to have an issue with that because you completely decentered them. The same way a lot of men get mad when women decenter them. She's not begging for you or quadruple texting you. It is what it is. Right? You hear? You cannot take down control freaks, Jezebels, and Leviathans if you don't have respect and boundaries. Respect and boundaries, part 2. All of us in life have our own individual power. The problem is when you give that away by being a habitual people pleaser. And respect and boundaries, part 2, we will be doing a deeper dive into how to respect yourself and how to also ensure that the people around you are giving you the same respect that you also give yourself. In addition to that, we have Defeat Jezebel and Leviathan on June 29th, following the Respect and Boundaries Part 2. In order to deal with lower level controlling entities, you need to know how to spot them within individuals and know how to navigate them. In other words, vampires, sociopaths, narcissists all fall under the Jezebel and Leviathan umbrella. In this class, I'm going to teach you how to spot people who have these entities operating in them, how to respond to them, and how to protect yourself from them on a both spiritual and physical level. You guys do not want to miss these master classes. Very, very important.